and welcome to Lety Does Phoenix Resurrection, The Return of Jean Grey, Part 3. So in the last issue, we saw Jean just trying to live her normal life inside of her mind thing. Potentially not her mind, potentially some other place entirely, as a waitress. And she's having a hectic day because everything is going so wrong for her, and she doesn't know why. All the while, Kitty Pryde and the rest of the X-Men are trying to find Jean Grey, but they are out of psychics. So they try to get Cable to use Cerebro. That goes horribly wrong, and Jean gets visited by the Master of Magnetism, Magneto, over in her cafe that she works at. And he also visits Iceman and the X-Men team, so Magneto's very busy and he's going back and forth, and yeah, we see some more dead X-Men. We don't know entirely what's going on yet. They haven't given us a confirmed explanation as to where the hell this is or what exactly is going on with all these kids floating and blood from their ears and stuff. So hopefully this most recent issue will kind of shed some light on that. But for this most recent issue, we have Jean here, kind of looking all dead in front of her tombstone. And yeah, this is just the default cover. Nothing too special about it, but dead Jean Grey with glowing fire eyes. Very ominous. So let's get started. Oh yeah, and then before we get to reading this, just a little note about my outfit. This is actually supposed to be a Jean Grey cosplay outfit. It's just that this is based off of some fan art that I really liked of Jean Grey, and it's also the outfit I wore in my Jean Grey photo shoot that you can still find on my Patreon from a couple months ago. So yeah, now let's get started. Alright, so this issue starts with Jean Grey losing control of her rocket and crashing into the ocean. Panic sets in as she begins to drown, when suddenly she wakes up on the floor of a supermarket. A small crowd gathers around her and tells her that she just had a slip and that the doctor is on his way. But no, something is very wrong, and Jean says she has to leave. And then for this one, I'm going to be trying something new, so Marvel Comics proudly presents Phoenix Resurrection, Chapter 3, A Constellation of Them All. Okay, you know what, Mr. Shaggy? If you don't want to be here, then just go! Jamaica Bay, New York. A father and son are spending a lovely day out on the sea fishing. They're just chit-chatting, talking about the weather, when dead fish. More dead fish. And another. And another. And then fire! Red burning hot flames erupts from the depths, engulfing the entire boat in fire! As the two barely make it out alive. Dad, I don't think I like fishing anymore. We cut to Kitty Pryde and the X-Men, who are making their way through Cockrum Hill Cemetery. Cockrum Hill Cemetery. The mutants all suspect the same thing, that somehow Jean is back. But they have to be sure. After all, there's no way, right? Jean is dead. Well, shit. But frankly, I don't know why Beast is so surprised. I mean, it says right there on her tombstone, Jean Grey Summers. She will rise again. Their fears now confirmed. Hank tells the others he will fix Cerebro while they find a psychic. Kitty knows that they're down to their last resort, but they have no other options. If Jean is out there, they need to find her. Meanwhile, back with Jean, we see that her day is getting a little better now that her car is being repaired by Mr.Patch. You can rebuild my transmission, if you know what I mean. Of course, in the presence of such grisly Canadianness, Jean does what any woman would naturally do, and that's pour her entire life story onto this man that clearly didn't ask. Every boring, sad detail of her boring, sad waitress life.
You know what you need? A stiff drink or a stiff man, bub. And I can help with that. Ah! Ah! Screwdriver to the shoulder. Ah! Patch flies across the room.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
I'm fine, lady, but that's some magic trick you got there.
That wasn't a magic. Are you alright?
Of course. I got a magic trick of my own. You ready to see it?
Are you hurt? Here, let me help you get that screwdriver out of your...
Ta-da! The screwdriver's gone.
But, what the... Where did it go?
Where do you think it went, lady? I ate it, Jean. I ate it.
And that makes about as much sense as what actually happened in these panels, so you can go on living with that retelling. Meanwhile, at the Beaumont Hotel in London, Kitty Pryde has assembled a team of the world's deadliest mutants. In the far left, we have Wolverine, who's like 150 pounds of metal and 100% teen spunk. Right next to her, we have Colossus, who's like 600 pounds of some metal bioorganic thing that nobody ever bothered explaining, but he's Russian, so gets a point there. Right next to him, we have Old Man Logan, who's like 250 pounds of metal and loses 5% of hair each year. And then right behind Kitty, we have Warpath, who's made of 0% metal, but I heard he's pretty good at finding things, so that's pretty cool, I guess. The X-Men are here to ask a big favor. You know we wouldn't come to you. Not if we had any other choice. But this is an emergency, and I'm asking you to put on Cerebro this one time. And though we didn't come looking for a fight, you know, I remember when you were just a prepubescent little girl, Kitty. So delicate and polite. But now, you've blossomed into a real bitch. And I rather like it. Kitty's legs buckle beneath her as her body quivers in excitement. Bad memories of her flings with Colossus and Star-Lord rush through her mind as she considers her spot on the Kinsey scale. And then she snaps back to reality. There are more important things at hand. Jean Grey is back. Oh, I know. And BAM! Emma motherfucking Frost, bitches! She can repair my transmission anytime, if you know what I mean. Emma brags to the X-Men that she has already run into the Phoenix. And she has. If we go back to Jean Grey number 10 here, we can see that at some point she tries to help Jean, but that ends up with Jean being burnt alive right here in the heart of the Phoenix. And just over here is the White Queen preparing to kiss the Phoenix's ass. Glad Emma's looking a lot better though. Anyway, she goes on to brag about how she already ran into the Phoenix and how she also knows where Jean Grey is. Your dearest little redhead is in New Mexico.
New Mexico?
Yes, New Mexico. You see, when Scott was alive and Jean was dead, Cyclops and I would play Smother the Phoenix. I really don't see how this is necessary. Well, he'd think about her. He'd think about Jean a lot. And New Mexico. I think she's in New Mexico. Meanwhile, back in New Mexico, I guess, we see that Mr. Patch wasn't able to fix Jean's car, so now she has to walk home. Alone. In the dark. But wait, there's a figure following her, so now it's a jog. She's jogging home, But the figure is still following her, so now it's a run, and she is running home. And now the figure is talking, so sprinting home, until she's finally safe inside of her locked house when knock knock, knock knock, knock knock, knock knock, knock knock, knock knock, and then fire! Red hot burning flames emerge from the basement. Death and agony rain down like brimstone and hellfire. A shadowy figure emerges from the crimson flames. The phoenix appears before her. Hello, Jean. I think it's about time we talked. And so, where Emma says the X-Men went. And not too long after, judging by Kitty's face, her stance, the effects of Emma's words clearly still written across her loins as she practices positioning her hands in ways she'd never considered before. In the far background, we see that time-displaced Beast and Iceman have come to realize that they lost their necks at some point during the flight. Right next to them, Cyclops hopes that no one notices that he has aged 30 years in the last few days. Meanwhile, Wolverine is hoping that everyone notices how fabulous she looks, especially her boyfriend who's up there in the sky. That's right, X-23 is dating Teenage Angel now. And he has wings made of fire. Bet some of you didn't know that. Welcome to Marvel Legacy, guys. But of course, everyone is so distracted that they don't even notice that Jubilee has managed to smuggle Purple Smoke Man across international borders. But no, everyone is distracted with something else. Jean Grey's not here. I fucked up. You fucked up. I just said that, Hank. Look, guys. Emma told us that Jean would be here.
And why are we trusting Emma Frost again? Anyone remember that time where she pretended to be Scott for an entire year?
And then it actually turns out he was dead the entire time?
And I thought the Red Skull on my world was fucked up.
Jean's not here. I bet she is still dead. And it was just Emma Frost the entire time! No, guys. You just don't understand her like I do. Wait! There's something here. I can feel it. And it's right in front of us. Magic raises her soul sword into the sky and smashes it down in front of her! I always believed in you, Emma. An energy field lights into view, unveiling an entire world underneath. What is that? What do we do now?
Now, Bobby, now we enter New Mexico.
And that is the end of issue 3. So, issue number 3. Again, we're still pretty confused as to exactly where the hell Jean is, but she's in New Mexico! I think. With energy fields. Who the fuck knows? But Jean's physical body is gone. It has left the building. And honestly, that whole thing with the tombstone that said, like, she will rise again, what were you expecting? Come on, you basically asked for it. So, yeah, now that Jean and the Phoenix have finally interacted, I hope something comes from that and then it's actually revealed that the Phoenix came and took over Jean's body and now she's going to get her soul or something. But this issue had a lot of ridiculous moments where I was just like, okay, I guess we're doing this now. This whole thing with Mr.Patch. Okay. Get your car fixed, Jean. But, I do hope that in the next book we get to see just kind of the X-Men enter Jean's world and realize just how fucked up everything is and maybe try to convince her that it's not all real, because we can see that, like, if she gets that consciousness of she's self-aware that she's in wherever the fuck she is, things kind of start breaking down for her in her world, literally. So I think that'd be kind of interesting, and maybe they'll bring her back. Who the fuck knows? I mean, it's not like there's an X-Men Red advertisement with her and her new outfit in the back. I'm totally waiting to see if Jean Grey comes back to life. Who I really want to see come back to life, though, is teenage Jean Grey, because she was the shit, and I really liked her. So if they don't bring her back, I will riot. Maybe internally. Probably internally. But there will be rioting. Anyway, number 4 is the next one to come out, but that's gonna have to wait because actually Marvel pushed it another week, so no new book this week. That's gonna be next week. But anyway, if you guys like this story, or maybe just my telling of it, and you guys want to actually know what happened because I made this just way too ridiculous to believe, and you want to see just how ridiculous it actually is, I am going to be giving away a digital copy for this book on my website, letydoesstuff.com, so that you can read it too. Just go ahead and click on the giveaways tab and enter there. But if you like this book, I highly suggest you go to your local comic book shop, buy the physical copy. You know, if you can't do a physical copy because you don't live near any comic book shops, buy the digital copy. Support your local comic book shop and support Marvel Comics in general. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. So let me know what you guys thought and what your thoughts are for the last 2 issues, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Hey everyone, Lety here. Just wanted to let you know that you should totally be checking out my Pokemon live streams, where I'll be showing off my new C moves. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking that circle button up there. Or you can check out some more of my videos over here. And you can find the latest news with my Patreon by checking out that video down there. It's hero time! I know I'm a dork! Leave me alone.